And we are live. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Superhero Post Show, where we talk about things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. Right now, we are streaming on Twitch, we are streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on Facebook. So, for all of the Twitch streamers, just want to let you guys know we did make a quick change. So, all of our how do I say this? All of our streaming is going to now be saved in clips. So, you're basically going to get clips of all of the things that we're going to talk about on Twitch. And so yeah, Twitch is going to be popping. I know I wasn't saving the streams, didn't know how to do it, looked it up, they're saved. And obviously for all of our YouTube people and Facebook, do me a favor, please like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so you can know whenever we post. So we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover, Comic Cuts, because today was an eventful day. Obviously, we always have a pretty packed schedule on our hands, but a lot of ish was happening today. So obviously we're going to talk about the name of this episode, right? Which is about Shazam being a box office failure. But before we get into that, let's talk about our personal reviews of Shazam as a movie. So, my brother, how did you feel about Shazam?
Sorry, I'm just posting to my story that we're live because I want
You're,
everyone to tap in.
you're good, good.
So I like the movie a lot. I like the first one. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Shazam. I think it was good. I think it was I'm trying to fix my setup. All right. So I think it was a good movie. I know that, I'm not. No, my mic's getting all fucked up. Sorry.
You're good. Go ahead.
So, I like the movie. I like Zachary Levi in the role. I don't think he plays the role perfectly. I think there are some legitimate I don't know what I was. I think there are some legitimate drawbacks to his portrayal of Shazam. I know, I'll leave you, I'll leave you that content to share because I know that you feel strongly about it. But the movie was a good movie. The first Shazam was great. And this movie should have been it should have been a success. There's no reason that a DC superhero movie, a sequel to a movie that has been out for a while, that was on HBO Max, had plenty of time for people to enjoy it, in this day and age shouldn't be successful. But having said that, I don't think Shazam should be, DC's focus right now. I don't think that, like Shazam is getting a sequel when Man of Steel never got a sequel. Like it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. That's why fans get pissed off. And even Aquaman, and I'm not the biggest fan of Aquaman. I know you are, but Aquaman didn't get a sequel yet. I know it
made $1 billion. That's the crazy part.
And it made $1 billion. And what do we get? A Shazam sequel. So it's kind of ridiculous. But all in all, was it a good movie? Yeah. Is it a successful movie? No.
Yeah, I echo some of the things that you say. I think that Shazam is a good movie. Saw it the second time and it didn't hit for me the first as it did the first time. But it was an all right movie, you know what I'm saying? I think that it did its thing. It was good. But I will say, the more and more I watched the film, the more my soul hated Zachary Levi as Shazam, because Billy is legit. It seemed like the roles were switched, right? When we read the comics, it's like Billy is legit like an idiot kid, you know what I mean? And he's young, he's reckless, he's just a kid. And then when Billy becomes Shazam, he then becomes to try to be this man, and that's kind of the way it's supposed to go. But then for some reason, it's like the roles are switched. It's like Zachary Levi is playing this child as a grown man, and then Billy is the mature character in this film. And if we're just being honest, bro, the character that plays Billy eats alive Zachary Levi's acting chops 100%. That kid can act. That kid was good.
He should be Damian Wayne.
I agree. Really, he was really good. So I mean the movie, like, I enjoyed it. I think the CGI was incredible. No, number one. And I think me and you disagreed on that. I don't think you were the biggest fan of the VFX effects. I really thought it was awesome. Um, I do think that the main lacks in this movie was, number one, the villain sucks. All right, like they're I don't know why you even go this route. The villains were a garbage, and also the second thing is that I think that Black Adam hurts this, and I don't blame The Rock because I think it's befitting. But Black Adam, when you have a dope character like Black Adam who's connected to Shazam, and you cannot get him in the film, a lot of fans are just like, why are we even paying attention to these bad guys? Another reason why this movie isn't successful, as you said, I don't think people wanted this movie. And this is something that I think Star Wars is learning right now with the Mandalorian numbers being down, and something that, and a lesson that DC also needs to learn. You never make sequels 6 to 7 years apart.
I want to say something about the Mandalorian because, and I know a lot of people are going to take issue with this, but I know I'm not alone because I saw a lot of about the last episode. So, and I'm just going to preface it with this: if I'm going to watch something and I think I'm not going to enjoy it, I don't want to waste my time. I'm very busy, and if like the time I spend on my entertainment, I want to get value out of it. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to just watch something because, oh, well, I'm watching this show and like this episode that's kind of not really what I'm in it for. I have to watch it to get to the next episode. I stopped watching Halo because there was an episode like that, and I loved Halo. And there's a couple other shows that I've done that with as well. With the last episode of The Mandalorian, when we got to those new characters and there was like, I was just like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is not what I'm watching The Mandalorian for. I haven't turned it on since. I stopped halfway through the episode. I turned it off. I put something else on. And, I saw Jerry Seinfeld not too long ago. He did a stand-up performance in Manhattan. I live on Long Island, so real close by. And anyway, but Jerry Seinfeld was like, everyone's always like, watch this show. The first 4 seasons suck, but once you get to season 5, it's great. Like, he's like, I don't want to watch 4 shitty seasons. And I know I'm only talking about one episode here, but I don't want to watch a bad episode. What the hell? Make them all good. This fucking Star Wars we're talking about.
Yep. I feel you, bro. And to come to Star Wars defense, because I do think that the content in it was good. Like, I did like it, and it gave me, and I thought that it pushed the narrative that Star Wars is kind of like the wider universe. Gave me some. I hated Andor, didn't even finish it, but I did like the idea because it's hinting to Moff Gideon or Thrawn. Why would you make a 45-minute episode about that? That is my question. You could have taken, and like, I don't think it's a matter of the content being bad, because it wasn't like. It wasn't bad. It was just a matter of the episode ends with some fire of Wait, did that end? Yeah, like it ends with Bo-Katan and Din Djarin, and then we go to this random behind dude. So like, I would have rather dealt with a filler episode of this, rather than a whole 45-minute episode. Like, they should have gave this whole story with this character like a 30-minute episode. You know what I'm saying? So. But yeah, man, that's kind of how I feel about it. But with that being said, it is just a matter of like, it seems like a lot of times these directors and these film people don't know what fans want, and it's kind of weird how a lot of people feel about this, because and guys, don't worry, we are going to talk about the whole MCU VFX drama. Don't worry, we got a lot of smoke for that as well, because we've been talking about this for the past couple of months. But back to what I was saying. I do think that Shazam failed because no one wanted to see it, point blank, period. And so for Zachary Levi to go on Instagram and try to throw shots at The Rock for not having Shazam, for not letting Shazam be in his movie, that's not the reason why your movie failed, bro. The reason why your movie failed, because number one, you're a clown. I think he's a clown, and number two, no one wants to see your movie. Why? Because your portrayal of Shazam is bad, and that's just facts. And And to be honest, they should have made the sequel when you were hot. After Shazam 1, people was loving Shazam. Am I right? Shazam was hot for a minute, and they should have capitalized and made that second film, but they didn't. And so that's and when you wait 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years to make a film, fans are going to lose interest. It's the same thing with Mando. They ended the season with Luke Skywalker, and you wait 2 years. Of course, the hype's going to be going at that point, you know. So I mean, I think it's just a matter of bad business practice. I mean, that's the period, point blank. I mean, yes, Zachary Levi is a bad Shazam, but I do think that if they made a film literally 2 years after it came out, it would have made probably 400 mil, in my opinion.
You know, I wonder, and the news today about The Rock was really upsetting. Like I've been a fan of The Rock since I've been a kid, and he was in the WWF, now called the WWE. But when The Rock had his heyday, it was the WWF. And, you know, I think, first of all, I always get taken back when someone who's supposed to be a professional is firing shots on social media. You know, not something I would have ever done. Obviously, I'm not an actor, but you get the point. And two, did Warner Brothers make some kind of deal with The Rock behind the scenes that he would never have to do anything with Shazam? Because maybe The Rock looked at Shazam and was like, I don't want anything to do with that. And maybe he made a deal with WB, or maybe he didn't make a deal with WB, and he really did come in there and was like, I want things my way. I'm The Rock. And, you know, had some kind of an ego burst, which I think is what Zachary Levi wants people to think. It could be true. We don't know. We have no idea, you know. But I will say, and I know, you know, you disagree with me on this, but The Rock, they also said things like this about him with Fast and Furious. So it's not the first time that someone has had this concern with him. And I think that, you know, listen, I think that if it's true, it's a really bad look. Do I think it's going to affect The Rock's career? No, he's the biggest actor in all of Hollywood. He probably has, you know, 5 movies finished that are, you know, have pending release dates. And he's probably working on another, you know, 5 to 10 projects right now. So, you know, listen, Zachary Levi, The Rock, one is a very successful actor. I don't even know what Zachary Levi did before Shazam. You know, like I only heard of him from Shazam. It's the only time I've ever seen I've ever seen him in. You know, maybe he's had a successful career and I just missed it. I don't, you know, but I don't watch every movie. Like, you know, I think the quality of movies, and I think comic book movies get blamed a lot. I think the quality of movies outside of comic book movies have gone down over the past decade. You know, a lot of it might have to do with the fact that they don't get to sell DVDs anymore, which are a huge portion of the revenue stream, you know, of movies. I don't know. But it does seem like that the non-comic book movie quality has gone down. Comic book movie quality has gone up. And you get a lot of, you know, big time Hollywood legends like Martin Scorsese, who's like, fuck comic book movies. They're not cinema. And, you know, listen, I disagree with him, but I can understand why he has a very different perspective. He came from a different time. He was the definition of cinema for a long time. And it's a no-brainer that if you look at, you know, Iron Man or any Avengers movie, they're very different from a Martin Scorsese movie. That doesn't make it not cinema, but they're very different.
Martin Scorsese, bro. Screw that guy. Nah, he came at Superman. Screw him, bro. Screw him. Nah, he want to talk that talk. Well, let me see you make $1 billion in freaking 2 weeks. Let me see you do it. Yeah, shut up, Scorsese. Nah, bro, freaking coward. I'm so sick of these people talking, man. Don't be mad because you're getting cooked. Because at the end of the day, Top Gun made $1 billion. Why? Because it was better content than what Marvel had put out. That's period. If your content is fire, exactly. If your content is fire, it's going to make the money. Why did Avatar make the money? Because the content was fire. Why did Batman do 700 mil? Because the content was fire.
And by the way,
simple.
By the way, You know who's not hating on comic book movies?
Who?
Tom Cruise. He said The Flash is what movies need right now. He's not making comic book movies. He's not hating because he's still crushing it. Yes. And he's about to put Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 out. And I guarantee you
that's doing $1 billion too. Yep. Yeah. That's also doing $1 billion. Part 1 and Part 2 back-to-back years.
That's
and those
why
are doing $1 billion.
2 parts, by the way. And I'm all for it.
Exactly.
2 times Mission Impossible. Why the fuck not?
I might go see it 4 times. I ain't gonna lie, each one. Yeah. Like keep it a buck. So yeah, man.
Mission Impossible is one of the best franchises out there.
Agreed. That is my favorite franchise of all time. If we're talking about superhero, Ethan Hunt is my James Bond.
That's my James Bond. Is my James Bond. But
yeah.
If they
so
James Bond, I'll never watch a James Bond. I swear to God.
Yeah. God, Fantasy Post, we will destroy that James Bond film if they do him wrong. All right, so let's get to this. All right, let's get to this whole Rock Zachary Levi thing. So I'm just going to keep it $100 with you guys. I don't blame The Rock for anything. You know, obviously to disagree with Comic Cuts on this because I don't blame him for coming in with his big ego and putting his foot down. Do you know why? Because that's what needed to happen. Someone needed to have the balls to walk into the office and say, you guys don't know what you're doing. I know how to make something that makes money. I might not know a lick about comics, but give me a chance. And I firmly believe that The Rock did what he thought was right. And I don't blame him for doing that. This man brought Henry Cavill back, bro.
Bro, but here's the thing. If they had a Shazam versus Black Adam movie, it would have succeeded.
No, it wouldn't have.
It would have done more than 30 mil.
Okay. It would have done more than 30 mil, but we would have had to get
imagine that poster, The Rock staring down Shazam with fucking lightning coming down the center.
Bro, come on, dog. Come on, bro. Stop playing with me, dog. You're trying to make me mad because look at this, bro. The Rock against this dude, bro. Come on, dog. I just don't want to hear it.
In the poster.
And that's why Zach Levi wouldn't have done the project. I'm telling you, bro. Or
Zachary Levi wouldn't have done
Zachary Levi would have signed on, but he wouldn't have been happy with the portrayal. I'm just being real, bro.
I think
Zachary Levi doesn't even look like a Greek god. If we're just keeping another 100, he's literally just a random dude that just got superpowers. That's husky, bro. He looks like freaking Brandon Ruth, bro. Like I'm being real. He doesn't even look like a Shazam.
Brandon Ruth. But
this guy is whack, bro. Like I'm sorry. I
don't think the one thing I think you're wrong on Zachary Levi is I don't think he is in a position, and I don't think he would have decided to not do the movie with The Rock because I think he would see it as a huge opportunity for his career, and he'd be an idiot to not do that.
Okay, I can partially agree with that. With that being said, okay, who would you rather want Black Adam to go against? Henry Cavill Superman or Zachary Levi? I'm going Henry Cavill Superman every time. I think The Rock had a fire idea. The only issue I had, not the only issue, because I think The Rock's plan was idiotic. But let's say if it was to happen, if Black Adam would have had to include Zachary Levi Shazam in this somewhere. But I mean, like, if we got Zach Shazam versus Henry Cavill Superman versus Black Adam, I think that's fire. To me.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Huh?
Can you repeat that last part? Sorry.
Yeah. I said if we had Shazam versus Superman versus Black Adam, just like the animated film, it would have been fire, and that would have made $1 billion. I'm not gonna lie. But I will equally say I don't know if like Zachary Levi's acting ability is that good to be like. I feel like with The Rock, he would get out acted, and people hate on The Rock's acting. I think the guy's a great actor, man. I can't hate on him.
Yeah, I've never seen The Rock in something and thought like it shouldn't be him.
Yeah, exactly. And people hate.
By the way,
he plays the same character in every film. Tom Cruise plays the same character in every film.
So does Vin Diesel. There's plenty of actors that do that.
And people say, but people love coming at The Rock, bro. Like John Cena plays the same character in every film. Like, don't hate.
But I was just gonna say, John Cena, I was blown away by.
He's probably the best actor to come out of the WWE. He probably is the best.
John Cena. I agree. The Rock might be more successful, but John Cena,
way better actor.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Fast 9, the last one that came out, where he plays Dom Toretto's brother.
Yeah, movie was trash, but he was amazing.
I like that movie. Listen, A Fast and the Furious movie, you know what you're getting into.
That man held back 20
entertainment, but
men,
it's
bro.
fucking good.
He held back 20 men, bro. I was like, you gotta be serious right now.
Wait, what?
Remember when he tried to sacrifice himself and this man legit held 20 men and then held a railing with literally like 30 men and then let it go? I'm like, dude, this
the car that swung from a wire from one cliff to the next.
Like, bro, it's ridiculous.
It was a Spider-Man car.
Yeah, I don't even want to see Fast 10, but I'm gonna go see it just because it's the last one. Yeah, it's the last one.
Fast and Furious. I always have.
But yeah, true. But with that being said, I just think it's very unprofessional that Zachary Levi is trying to say that the reason why Shazam didn't fail was because Black Adam and The Rock didn't want Shazam. And I don't think that's the reason for the failure. I think if you put a better villain in,
the reason is the Shazam. But I think the villain they went with, I don't think it has to do with the villain. I don't think opening weekend numbers.
Yet The Rock has nothing to do with that, bro. The issue is that John Wick comes out the week after, bro. People bought tickets for John Wick.
But people don't buy tickets based on if the movie is good or not. The first weekend, people are pre-ordering those tickets. So it is not reflective of the quality of the movie whatsoever because the people buying the tickets, they can't hear from anyone if the movie's good or not yet. So I do think, yes, I'm sure there are a few that wait to hear what people saw it Friday, buy it Saturday and Sunday, but that's a small number. Most of the people are buying these tickets on pre-order. They hear the tickets are, up for sale. They buy it right away. I'm one of them. I know Stevie is too. But here's the thing. That movie, aside from the fact that it didn't have any marketing, if it had The Rock is in this movie, 100%, namesake alone, it's selling more tickets.
But that's not his fault. But yeah, yes.
Well, it is his fault because he should have done the fucking movie and he didn't want to do it.
That's not his fault, though. That's not his fault. Like, if the man doesn't want to do the movie, you can't blame someone for doing something that they don't want to do.
Okay, but if you are taking
James Gunn, James Gunn legit rejected and embarrassed this man, and then DC cut him a deal under the table and then threw the blame on him for everything. That's not fair to him.
James Gunn, I didn't know that. James Gunn denied him.
James Gunn is the reason why his whole plan got denied. And then on top of that, think about it. The Rock proposed his own plan. DC said, "Get the heck out of here." And then the next week, James Gunn's the new president. But then DC goes out of their way, or Warner Bros. Went out of their way to undermine The Rock. The Rock was getting cooked for a smooth month, like the whole December because of that. And so if the company that I tried to help, even if they said no, that's fine. They try to tarnish my character. I admit my L, and then now I'm getting dragged because this movie failed because I didn't want to be a part of a franchise of a character and an actor that I don't like.
But it's not just a random movie that he did. This is like saying, I'm going to play Lex Luthor, but I don't want to be in the Superman movie.
He's The Rock, bro.
But that's my point. He's an egomaniac, and he didn't do the movie, and he fucked both in the process.
No, you can't blame, but bro, you can't blame the failure of a movie for him. You could have easily put another big character with Shazam. You freaking screw the Shazam family crap. They're worthless in the film. They do nothing. They're idiots. You screw the Shazam family and you pair Shazam up with another character. Like, you could have done a Shazam and Wonder Woman movie, which would have made a freaking $1 billion. Let's be real, bro. Like, there's so many other routes that you can take where this movie could be successful. But what do, bro? They feed on stuff that people don't care about. And they don't.
And Black Adam are like, that's the story.
Well, then they should have recast then if it was that important. If it was that important, they could have freaking recast it another character, or they would have paid The Rock a crap ton of money for him to be in it, because we all know The Rock doesn't turn down $1. Let's be real here.
Yeah, but what? They're having trouble having success in movies right now as it is. They've already probably paid The Rock an insane amount for Black Adam, and I bet you that's part of the reason Black Adam wasn't successful.
Black Adam was a really good movie. I think Black Adam got dragged, in my opinion.
I agree. I happen to really like Black Adam, but it was a failure of a movie. And The Rock said it was, and then we found out 2 weeks later when the real numbers came out that he lied, and it wasn't.
Okay, he kept and James Gunn also lied about Ben Affleck going to direct the Batman, but we don't bat an eye about that, right? Zachary Levi literally just threw the rock
I don't think
under the bus. And
I don't think
hold on. Zachary Levi, his own movie, he failed and is blaming The Rock. That is some soft-ish to me, bro. You got to be a soft man to blame another man for your failure. I'm sorry, bro. I don't care. He made the money without The Rock. He could have made it again without him. I think this is the studio waiting too long. This movie came out in 2019. This movie should have came out in 2021. And that's facts. This movie would have made almost $500 million if it came out in 2021 and you included characters that actually matter. That's the fact. If you did a Wonder Woman in Shazam movie, it would have worked.
First of all, I don't disagree with that. I do think that above all, this falls on the old studio and the old guard, which, by the way, when I try to explain to people that like are Marvel fans but have no idea about DC and don't care about DC, that DC for the longest time had a studio whose sole goal was sabotaging their movies. It was like, we want to make movies that don't succeed, and, so I don't, but to say, first of all, the James Gunn Affleck thing, I don't think James Gunn ever said Ben Affleck will be directing a Batman movie. I think he said we're having conversations about it or something along those lines. So I don't hold that against James Gunn, and I wouldn't call James Gunn a liar for that. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. I am searching up this thing so I can prove to this man that the James Gunn, and I love James Gunn. I'm not throwing shots at James Gunn. I love James Gunn, but we're going to freaking expose this because this is nasty. This is nasty. Let's see. Let's find it right here. I gotta find the tweet myself because this is crazy. James Gunn is directing Batman. Guys, I'm trying to find the article that James Gunn is directing Batman. I mean, that when James Gunn said that Ben Affleck is directing Batman Brave and the Bold, because he said it. This man said it, bro. I'm telling you guys, this man said it. Let's see. All right. Oh, I got the cap right here, guys. Got the cap right here. I got the quote right here for you guys. Because that man, James Gunn, capped, and no one batted an eye. No one batted an eye. But then they want to kill The Rock, man. It's crazy how our fandom acts. Okay, this is what James Gunn said. Are you ready? I had to go find the article, my brother. Okay. Wait, now I lost it. Hold on, I'm not direct. Okay, let me know when you're off of mute, and we'll address this.
My bad.
Okay, this is what James Gunn said. He said this: "We're working with Ben Affleck, who has been a part of our team, trying to bring things together, and he really wants to direct one of our projects. We're excited for him to do that." He says this: "I would not direct something for James Gunn. Absolutely not. I have nothing against James Gunn. Nice guy. He's going to do a great job. I just would not want to go in direct in the way that they're doing that. I'm not interested in that." When James Gunn literally said that he really wants to, Ben Affleck comes and says no. James Gunn capped, and it's fine. It happens. That's the way studios work. Everyone lies. But I don't even care. Like, why does it matter that The Rock lied about the success of Black Adam? It was a failure. He tried to save it. It happens. That's the life of freaking studios. You know what I mean? My issue now is when Zachary Levi can't take accountability, because even after The Rock got caught frauding, he took the L. And when the studio came at him, he said, "All right, I'll just never do any other projects with a DC. I'm done." But then when everyone's happy that The Rock isn't doing anything with DC, now we want to shift blame. It's just funny how stuff works, bro. It's just funny how fans act, bro. It's nastiness to the T. bro. I'm sorry, bro. I can't. It the DC. Like, I love DC. I can't wait for James Gunn to start this DCU. I'm so excited, and I think that's another reason why this movie fails again. You know why, bro? Because James Gunn just announced all of these movies that we're looking forward to: Batman: The Brave and the Bold, Superman Legacy. Right, we're getting The Authority. All of these
Green
films.
Lantern
And he
show.
basically said in the Green Lantern, he basically said that Shazam and these movies don't matter, bro. Basically, so why would I even know hardcore DC fans that didn't go because they literally told me this movie doesn't mean anything. So why am I gonna waste my time to see it? I'll just wait when it hits HBO Max.
Max.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So
You know, I like. I have to say, you know, it's kind of like if I read a comic or I watch a movie or a show and it's comic book related, and I know it doesn't lead to anything, it's kind of like stupid. Like, I mean, Batman's doing this series right now. It's called One Bad Day. It's an anthology series, so on the villains. So there's like one or maybe two that come out a month, and it's a story about the villain that's supposed to be like the definition of that villain. They're only doing it for the big main villains. So, I mean, you can imagine who. I think they're doing Joker last. You know, it doesn't lead to anything, but it still serves like some kind of purpose, and they've been awesome. But I did think when I was watching Shazam, like this movie doesn't even matter anyway.
I agree, bro. And that's that's the reality. Like James Gunn legit came out and said, bro, these movies don't mean anything. Like basically, bro, you know.
Yeah.
And then he announced all these cool projects that people looking forward to. How can you expect these movies to succeed? You know, I would have had James Gunn wait a year to give these announcements, to be honest. And then James Gunn is running his mouth on Twitter. James Gunn, delete your Twitter, bro. Like, chill out.
No, I disagree. I think people throw out the craziest fucking rumors, and sometimes
I agree.
them.
But
So there's
does Kevin Feige? No. Kevin Feige didn't do it during the Infinity Saga. James Gunn is still writing out his plan. Don't come to us
there's a big
until your
difference.
plan's actually done.
There's a big difference because the MCU has been successful since the beginning of the MCU. The DC already has a failed universe under their belt. They have to throw away the entire DCEU and start over with the DCEU. The MCU never did that. They made movies before the MCU, but they didn't say it's a universe, it failed, we're bringing in a James Gunn and starting over. Like, so I think that, and they did that after the Snyder Cut. So there's been fans that have been rallying on Twitter. You know, something from DC is trending all the time. I think they had to fucking say something to calm the fans down. And even though it still didn't calm the fans down, fans are fucking nuts. And by the way, the people on Twitter who are fucking crying about, Zack Snyder, Team James Gunn, fire him. Shut the fuck up. Grow up. It's ridiculous. And it makes us all look like we're fucking 5 years old. Yeah. I like Zack Snyder. I like James Gunn. I like comic book movies. If you're good at making comic book movies, I like you too. I don't give a shit. Jesus Christ. It's fucking ridiculous. And treating people who run Instagram pages like shit because you don't like that they're supporting James Gunn. It's like, dude, where do you get off?
I feel you, bro. I feel you, dog. I mean, I think that this whole, I mean, look, man, Zack Snyder's going, and I'm so happy he's going. You know how I feel about Zack. I'm not the biggest Zack guy. But you know, he's going. So we gotta move on. Zack's doing his own thing. Let that man rock out. I know that the culture has been talking a lot about this, but I just can't jump on the train with y'all with just blaming The Rock for trying to save a universe that's dying. The man tried it, he failed, he moved on. Why can't we? And I think that's the period, point blank. Zachary Levi, Shazam failed because you are mid, and also because no one wanted to see it, and that's fine. If I was the Warner Bros, I would have done the HBO Max release for all of these films. Keep it on it. If I know that James Gunn's just going to, you know,
they can't.
The only film, no, but I'm saying I would do both. The only film that really should be getting a theatrical release is The Flash, because that movie has look at what The Flash did. They have Michael Keaton. They went all out. But you know why? Because they know that this is the last one. If I'm the director of Shazam, and I know that this is my last hurrah, I'm just bringing everybody in. YOLO. I'm just bringing everybody. And
By the
so
way,
I mean,
you know what I think is going to happen? And I may have said it before, but I think that the Flash is going to be so successful. It's going to do so well.
Yeah.
And DC is going to be like, you know what? The fans clearly like Ezra Miller. We're going to fucking keep him. And people are going to lose their fucking mind.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Ezra's done after this. Like in the movie. The way it's going.
I want to see a good Flash movie. I really do. And I want DC to be successful so bad to the point that I'm almost like, you know what? If the movie's good, let's fucking keep him. But some of the shit they're saying he did is just like, I can't look past that. It's so bad. Like,
yeah, even
but at the same time,
yeah,
if that movie comes out and we buy the tickets, we are kind of looking past it.
I know. Hey, I've been looking past it, but I do think that like Ezra's portrayal is just terrible as a Flash, and I think it's going to be the same mid-a-thon. But you know, when you have Michael Keaton in your movie and Ben Affleck and all these other characters, I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. I think, and I've heard that Supergirl carries the movie, which I'm totally fine with.
Yeah,
I've always been
one sec. I'm listening.
Yeah. I've always been a Kara Zor-El fan, so I am really excited about that. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, guys, that's basically our DC rant on the whole Shazam thing. Shazam was a good movie. We don't Comic Cuts kind of agrees with Zachary Levi saying that it's The Rock's fault. I disagree. I just think that it's nuts that people are trying to blame a man for everything that he did. Kind of weird. So that's kind of the way I feel about it. So all right, now guys, now we have to address this MCU drama as well. There's just so much news to talk about. So we're going to address this Marvel stuff that is going on because there has been some things that have happened, and I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. So I'm gonna wait for Comic Cuts to get back on the screen. But
sorry,
okay, so you're good. You're
away, and my dog keeps freaking out. She thinks that no one's here because she can't see me behind.
The green screen. It's all good. Sometimes I put my dog's cage right next to me, so just so she knows I'm there.
Oh, that's smart.
Because she gets all like emotional. I'm like, okay. So with Marvel, the Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige. If you don't know, Victoria Alonso has parted ways with Marvel Studios in 2021. She was promoted to president of physical and post-production visual effects and animation production. So to make a long story short, she is one of the sole reasons why the VFX people were kind of going off and saying that, you know, they don't want to work with Marvel Studios ever again. She was the one putting them through hell. She was the one who took the team from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and put everyone on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And so this is why we have about 4 to 5 action scenes that were cut out because they couldn't get them done. And to be honest, if you take a look at the Marvel scape, our content with Marvel took a large gigantic dip when she became president of the VFX teams for Marvel, and when she became president of all of the production. So my side, I think this is a W for Marvel. This is the same woman who said that the X-Men shouldn't be called X-Men because they have females. This is the same woman, that legit put our VFX teams through hell. This is the same woman who is one of the reasons why our content has taken a dip on the production side. She's the reason why we have gotten so many good clips cut out of films because we just couldn't get them out in time. Now, a part of this had to do with Kevin Feige too, because he was trying to put out so many projects. I will agree she's not 100% the problem, but she is a big problem. And so I want to give a shout out to Bob Iger for stepping up and making this presidential move. Also, if you don't know my guy, there were a bunch of investors about to start a coup and take down all of the other investors because of how terrible the content's been the past like 4 to 5 years. So Bob Iger wants to keep them happy. So this is one of the things that have happened. And also, Bob Iger, if I've been really listening to a lot of these investors calls. One thing that Bob Iger has said, though, the main word that he keeps saying Comic Cuts is there will be accountability. There will be accountability. And apparently the accountability is going to Lucasfilm next. So, and we know what's going to happen when that accountability goes to Lucasfilm, because Star Wars, which is the greatest IP of all time, the greatest IP in movie history, has been toyed with for the past 10 years. And that needs to stop. So, yeah. How do you feel about it?
100%. You have these executives that are just pushing this radical nonsense that's ruining our movies. And it's not just Star Wars. It's not just Marvel. They are going back and censoring the original 007 novels. And Ian Fleming is rolling in his fucking grave. And, George Lucas is probably like, thank God my name's not attached to this fucking garbage. And I bet the VFX team that, and by the way, everyone should be happy about this, because the crowd that gets upset when people work too hard, let's call a spade. But, the VFX team was complaining a lot under Victoria Alonso. And the X-Men comment, I didn't know that was hard. But now that I do, I'm like, wow, she had to go. I don't appreciate people who don't respect the source material coming in and trying to change it in tune with their woke nonsense and really weaponizing fucking political theater. It's ridiculous. And yeah, like Victoria, changing the X-Men. I mean, like, and I also, have noticed recently there are a lot of fans that are like very active on social media, like very active, and they run MCU pages, DCU pages, or whatever, and they've never read a comic, which boggles my mind. Like, how could you be so passionate to like be spurring your opinions online about everything all day, every day, and you've never read a comic? That just shows me that you're someone that half-asses everything you do, because you clearly love Marvel, you clearly love DC, but you don't love it to the extent to read the source material, which you would enjoy. That says to me that you're someone that in life, in business, even if you really love what you do, because you love Marvel, you'll never be fully invested in it. And I think it really says a lot about a person, and you could tell a lot about someone from how they treat their passions, because you know they love their passions.
Exactly. And so, and me and you might disagree, because I don't think that the issue is the woke stuff. I don't, because I've seen other industries do it and it works. Okay. I see the Ahsoka show, which is going to do godly numbers. I see how the fans took to Ahsoka. We see how Bo Katan and Star Wars is being talked about, because she's taking over. Hold on, wait. And like, there are other franchises aside from superheroes that have done woke content that worked. Like in the show, The Arrow, a bunch of woke content, but it works. And
I love The Arrow.
You know what I mean? I love the world. The Arrow is one of my that right now. That's probably is the greatest comic book show of all time. Mad woke stuff in it, but it works. And this is all I'm saying, right? If you want to go woke, right? I am not against bringing more females into the MCU. I'm not against that. But this is the issue. It can't be mid. When Captain Marvel first came to the MCU, she was fire, bro. As much as Brie Larson is annoying, her character was overpowered and it worked. Black Widow, ScarJo, it worked. Like Scarlet Witch, these characters were awesome. but when you bring in characters like America Chavez, I think Kamala Khan's great. I've not trashed Kamala Khan, but
when you talk about changing X-Men, like the name X-Men, like that,
that's a violation.
That is and not serving the content.
And this is how you know that she doesn't read the comics, because the X-Men is arguably no. The X-Men in the comics is the most diverse group in comic history. The whole thing is about civil rights. That is the whole entire X-Men movie, the whole entire X-Men comics is the most inclusive most inclusive comic book runs that we've ever seen in comic book history. So how can you even say that? And that's how you know that these
Great
people have
point.
no knowledge of the comics whatsoever. The X-Men might be actually the only comic book that actually hits all different levels of our society through the years. And let's not forget, The Boys has so much woke content, but The Boys is hitting astronomical numbers. Why? Because the content's fire. And
Yeah.
that's what it boils down to. If you
And the
want to give us
actors,
this
by the
crap,
way, they're making woke statements online all day.
yes,
All day.
yes,
It's like
yes.
nuts. But guys like me look past it because the show's that good.
Exactly. So you need to make content that's so good that we don't care. The same thing in the Batman wing when a freaking cat woman has that one line saying like here's something like all of the white men will pay or something. But no one remembers that line. You know why? Because the movie's fire. You know what I mean? So
I definitely remembered that line.
yeah. So
I
but
know,
like
people that did.
exactly.
But
But people overlook it because the movie's so freaking
yeah,
good.
but that
And
was also
that
one line. It was one line. It wasn't like throughout the whole movie. And by the way, it was kind of ironic because she's kissing the richest white boy.
exactly right. You
Like
fall in love with like the richest white guy in the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
DC universe. But anyways, this is where I say, man, the issue isn't the identity politics. It was a problem to it was a problem, but one of the main issues is the content just sucked.
mm,
And that's just the reality. The content that Marvel was putting out was garbage.
yeah.
And this woman, Victoria Alonso, was a big part of that. So, as Marvel fans, we need to rejoice and praise Jesus that this woman is out. Like, Lord God, thank you. Thank you for making a way when there was no way. Amen. Because this woman was terrible for honestly, she was probably amazing in the little C role that she was in. Shorty probably got power tripped. Not to mention Bob Chapek was giving everyone fire to their cells. And what happened? She was out here running her mouth about the X-Men and about all these other stuff. So, W move by Marvel, and I think that it is a good thing because at the end of the day, we don't care about the politics. We don't care about anything. All we want is good content. That's it.
Agreed.
And I'm going to keep going back to Top Gun. This movie was about the government, and they didn't put any politics. So how is superhero films having politics?
It's ridiculous and it's so unnecessary. Like, you know, I just think that, it's like also Marvel, like, and I always find myself saying this to myself. I feel like the two areas, like, if a Marvel movie is cosmic or government related, it's going to be a fucking banger. And I think that stays true for the entire MCU. Comics are a little different, but you know, all the Captain America movies were fire. The opening Iron Man 2 scene, in that courtroom, and it's, Iron Man against Justin Hammer, against that senator. Like, I just think they do it so well. And they also were able to make a Civil War movie where it really wasn't about politics. It was about government overreach and what we're okay with, but it wasn't political, like it wasn't related to American politics. It wasn't divisive. And I think that that's also like something that was important. Like there was two sides and you either identified with one or the other in that movie. I think Captain America was right, and I think everyone should agree with Captain America, but I'm sure there are people out there that agree with Iron Man that think everyone should agree with Iron Man, but it wasn't related to an American politician. It didn't have a message that you could see echoed on Twitter, that has nothing to do with the movie. And
By the way, Captain America 4 is going to be a banger, bro.
I agree.
New World Order is I love Steve Rogers. New World Order might be a top 3 Captain America film.
So I know New World Order like represents something in comics, but I kind of think that maybe they should have, named named it something different. I know there are a lot of people that are like, "Oh, New World Order, it's in our face," and they don't see the comic connection. And I just think that they open themselves up to a
That's
lot of
fine. That's fine, bro.
unnecessary criticism.
That's totally fine. When you have Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross, name it whatever you want. That movie is going to be bro. Harrison Ford as Red Hawk, bro.
I agree. I agree. And also, I think that
Going to be
movie is
sweet.
going to cement Sam Wilson as one of the greatest characters the MCU has ever seen. I've already thought this. You know, I've said it on here before. I'm a big fan of Sam Wilson. I think he's great in every single scene he's ever in. I think that character and Anthony Mackie deserve their flowers. And I think this is going to be the movie that gets it.
They're going to kill it, man. They're going
Yeah.
to kill it. I'm so excited for them.
Me too.
Okay, so I want to hit a quick Star Wars update, and then we can get into Incredible Hulk. Okay, so my last Star Wars. So this Star Wars update. So here's some interesting things about the Ahsoka show. So apparently, the rumor is that Sabine Wren is going to be using Ezra's lightsaber, and that Ezra lightsaber is going to be similar to a Dragon Ball Z character. So apparently, Ezra Bridger is going to be really good at martial arts, and basically, Ezra Bridger is going to be able to do some sort of kind of like a Kamehameha with the Force. Apparently, he's going to learn Force magic, and he's going to be some type of like Force. He's going to have powers of a Force being. And I honestly think and to me, that sounds pretty exciting. And I think that's kind of expanding the lore because there is so much Star Wars lore that we don't know. There's a whole part of the Star Wars galaxy, which is the Great Beyond, that hasn't been explored, which we're supposed to be exploring in the Ahsoka show. How do you feel about that? Like, do you like the fact that like Ezra's is allegedly going to be using like Force magic?
Yeah. I've been watching. Shout out the Kyber Club, or it's Kyber Club or the Kyber Club on Instagram. He is a up and coming Star Wars account. The guy knows everything, and if you know me, I always appreciate someone who knows their lore, who has passion, and I think this guy is going to go, blow up on his page. He knows everything, and his videos are really interesting. And one thing he's been talking about a lot are the different like lightsaber fighting styles of the Force, and how different Jedis or Sith Lords adapt, and why they adapt, and why they choose the different ones. Is really interesting. But Force magic is something else entirely. And after watching these videos on the Kyber Club, I really was like, I mean, I'm sure he's getting this info from the comics and the novels and everything else that I haven't seen or experienced, but it made me wonder, like, why isn't this stuff in the movies? Why isn't this? It's so cool that, one of the really interesting points was Anakin had to really shift his fighting style when he had to wear the Darth Vader suit, and it drove him to be really angry because he hated the suit. Like, I never knew that. That was never in the movies. So Force magic sounds like that to the next level. I'm all for it. I think that Star Wars has such an expansive lore, and only a fraction of it has ever really been exposed through the medium of movies and TV shows. And I think there's so much more there to be drawn into. And I also think that, once this kind of stuff comes out and it's intriguing for me, like, I guarantee I already know, like, I'm going to be more interested, and then I'm going to want to read more Star Wars comics, which really popular lately.
Yeah, Star Wars, as I said, Star Wars has the greatest lore of all time. There's no greater lore than Star Wars. George Lucas literally created the greatest franchise. So I'm happy that there's people like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau that's helping build that vision. So very happy about that. Okay, so let me just scour through the news real quick to see if there's anything else that we want to talk about before we get into Incredible Hulk. Let's go to. I'm looking at some MCU stuff. Let's see what's popping on here. Charlie Cox. I mean, there have been some Charlie Cox set photos, but I mean, nothing really to talk about yet. I really want to see which Daredevil suit he wears.
I think they say it's going to be red and yellow. Oh no, that was in She-Hulk.
Disney set photos reveals new MCU character look. Let me see. I think it's just him in the suit. I don't know which suit he has. I wouldn't mind the suit that he wore in She-Hulk. I thought that suit was awesome.
Yeah, it was really dope.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind either one. But
By
but
the
yeah,
way,
I mean,
I didn't watch all of She-Hulk.
me either. Actually, no, I did. I
didn't even
did
watch
not
the
finish
Daredevil
it.
episode. I need to watch that.
Yeah, that was fire, bro. That was fire. That was the only reason why I kept watching it. Then afterwards, I was like, oh no, I gotta muscle myself through this. So apparently, no, I'm not going to report this. This is cap. I'm not going to talk about that. So there's something about a Nightwing spinoff movie. That's a lie.
Yo, I will say, and I haven't kept up with it, but there was a new Crisis comic that came out last year, and it was a big, expansive event. It was called Dark Crisis, and supposedly it ends saying like Nightwing is the biggest character in the current DC.
Yeah. He's been like basically the guy. I love Nightwing is my favorite character, so I'm not. Well, Robin is my favorite character, but Dick Grayson is my favorite character,
right?
In DC, so I wouldn't mind that. It's just all about who plays Nightwing. I would love Jacob Elordi to be Dick Grayson, and from Euphoria.
Bruce Wayne.
He's too young, man.
They're gonna make him a young, but he is a little young to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he's like my age. He's like 24, 25.
Oh wow.
I think he'll be awesome as Nightwing though. He will be such a good Dick. Pause. Oh my god, it sounds so sus. He'll be a good Dick Grayson, guys. I'm not saying the other thing. Gosh,
anyway, we're Top Folk King.
I know, right? Oh gosh. Okay, so let's get into. Okay, so now, guys, as you know, this episode chops, right? So we are on our second episode of, and I named this the road through the MCU. Obviously, after we get through the MCU, so just give you guys a timetable. We are going to go from the MCU to Star Wars, then from Star Wars to the MCU Fox. I mean, not to Marvel Fox. It will go from Marvel Fox to DC, and we are going to start putting up episodes of the Fantasy Theory. So just to give you guys a quick heads up, I do have some Harry Potter videos that are going to be coming out, but we are going to be doing kind of reviews. We are going to start with Game of Thrones. So we are going to get through Game of Thrones, then we're going to get through House of the Dragon, and then we'll start Harry Potter, and then we'll do Fantastic Beasts. So so that's going to be kind of the big stuff over there. But anyways, the next movie on our list is The Incredible Hulk. Did you end up watching it, bro?
So I rewatched some of it. I didn't rewatch the whole thing. Sorry.
Yeah. I actually hate it. I did. Oh my god, it just reminded me how much I didn't like that movie.
That's why, but I will say I do wish, and again, like if I don't like a movie, I don't want to finish it, and it's oddly enough, it's the only MCU movie that like I really don't like. Actually, I like it more than Love and Thunder, but I still think Edward Norton would have made a better Hulk than Mark Ruffalo. I think Edward Norton was going to cost too much, and I think that's part of the reason.
Yeah, at the time, for sure. This movie frustrates me. Number one, because Edward Norton is a 10 times better actor than Mark Ruffalo. I think Mark Ruffalo Hulk fits the direction that the MCU was going better, because Edward Norton kind of might have came off a little too serious for the tones that we were going through in the MCU.
Sorry, I'll let you finish.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I also think with an actor like Edward Norton, I think that the Hulk would have had to be a more integral character to the MCU rather than a guy that's only there for crossover movies.
Exactly, and I honestly think that Mark Ruffalo's role when the MCU was prime was perfect for the MCU. Like, I really don't have an issue. The Professor Hulk pisses me off, but like the Hulk that we got in Thor Ragnarok to me was perfect. Like, I mean, that was the most perfect Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, I think that The Incredible Hulk is a very emotional movie. I think that the stakes are high. I think that the Hulk, builds, the idea that the world hates him. To me, the biggest issue for me in the Hulk is that the third act just doesn't deliver for me, bro. Do you feel the same way about it?
Yeah, I don't think that, but I don't think it was just the third act. I think the plot of the movie just didn't really land for a third act. Like the whole point of the Hulk is that he can't control himself and he becomes this monster, and that's the entertainment factor. So for the Hulk to control his outbreak and to be like, is that what you mean by third act?
Yes.
Yeah, for the Hulk to control his outbreak, like I don't want to see the Hulk control his outbreak. There's no fucking movie if he controls his outbreak. Like, a lot of times, like, what the goal of the movie, if that goal wasn't there, there wouldn't be a movie. And it just. I also think that, I mean, I don't know the success of this movie. I probably should have looked that up, but I
Terrible. The box office numbers were terrible.
okay. So, and that's what I thought. If the box office numbers being terrible, I think were also part of the reason that we never got another Hulk movie. Now,
Yeah.
apparently, there's rumors that they're talking about Planet Hulk or World War Hulk. I forget which one. I think it's Planet Hulk. But you know, I think if Edward Norton weren't so expensive and the Hulk had a different story, the Incredible Hulk movie, and it wasn't about him controlling himself, I do think that we would have had a Hulk trilogy within the MCU.
Yeah. One thing that the Incredible Hulk does is that it basically just ignores its characters throughout the whole entire film. So you're basically kind of getting like flat plot and then just Hulk wrecking stuff, And I'm just being honest for you guys. I don't, and I've held this opinion for the past like 12 years. I don't think that the Hulk is a guy that you make a solo film out of. The Hulk is good with other characters, but the Hulk is such a one-dimensional character that after a while it gets more like it's like when you watch Power Rangers, right? It's the same plot every time. They're going to fight, they're going to lose, they come back, they win, and then the villain grows big, and then they hit the freaking Megazord, and that's the end of the movie. The Hulk is the same way. It's the same. It's usually the same plot for every Hulk film. So
it's like procedural. It's like there's a standard procedure.
Exactly.
And by the way, it's interesting because when I was a kid, I loved the Incredible Hulk, like loved them, but I didn't really know or understand anything about him. I was like, oh, big green monster, that guy looks cool, And it's just so crazy to me that like there are such big fans of the Hulk when like he really is a fucking boring character.
He is. I mean, what like it's the same thing, just Veronica. It's the same plot every time. And She-Hulk does give the Hulk a little more depth, but still, like, I mean,
so
what more can you really do with the Hulk when he's alone?
What they should have done is Planet Hulk, which I've never read. It's kind of like something I've been meaning to read, but I put it off because I'm not that interested because it's the Hulk.
Yeah.
But basically, like the Avengers get tired of the Hulk's like destruction and being irresponsible, and they send him off to another planet, and he conquers that fucking planet, and it becomes Planet Hulk. Like that's a cool story you could do with Hulk, but
the movie, story, yeah, but I don't think the film, yeah, and I don't think the film would have made money. You need to do like the Hulk versus Wolverine. Or like I think Hulk and Thor Ragnarok was a great film. I mean, the Hulk is good with pushing main characters forward, which made Thor Ragnarok like such a big hit because the Hulk was such a big force in that movie.
Right.
And I would have, and I think that was perfect for what it was, and then it helped the Hulk with the entrance into Infinity War. I even liked some of Professor Hulk and She-Hulk. I thought some of him in there was good as well. But I do feel like it's just hard to make a movie with a character that freaking one-dimensional, bro. Like, it's hard. And then, I mean, we're not even talking about the freaking Abomination, which was just, oh my god, so bad. Abomination, oh my god, terrible. I would have went with what is the mind dude in the Hawk? I just had him. I was talking about him the other day. I can't forget his name, but he's one of the Hawks. I think he was in the end credits for the Hawk.
Dude, he looks just like fucking Hammond. That's crazy.
Hawk villains. Let me see. Hawk villains.
The leader.
Leader. Yeah, the leader. You don't see like you like when and you know when you're doing a villain like this, like the same way Iron Man had the most perfect villain. Nobody was really expecting to have like an Obadiah Stane. Um, you need to go with a character that's kind of going to move a lot for the character. I think a character like the leader could do something really big, maybe like a Modoc or something like or even Wrecker maybe even Juggernaut. Obviously, they couldn't do it because of the X-Men. I get it, but you want to have characters like that kind of to combat the Hulk. But as I said, just the movie itself is mid because it's one-dimensional character, bro.
Yeah.
But I do think that Edward Norton was a good Hulk. And shockingly, when I was doing research, a lot of people online think that it's the most underrated MCU film.
Really?
A lot of people love it. Yeah, a lot of people like it. I think this movie was the MCU's biggest disappointment because I think that Feige put a lot into this and it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
but I also think they kind of treat it like a redheaded stepchild. Like it's always in the background. It's not on Disney Plus. Like they don't talk about it.
Yeah, but that's also for copyright too, because they're in a whole thing with Universal. Because so Universal owns the Hulk. They also own Neymar as well, and so that's why they can't get them on the Disney Plus.
Well, how does Universal own Neymar?
Dude, I have no idea, but they've always owned the rights. That was why he hasn't come earlier.
That sucks.
Weird, right?
But like they had to make a lot of deals when they didn't have the MCU. So
Let's see which Marvel heroes does Universal own rights to? Okay. So do they own? Oh gosh, they have a lot of characters. So they bought Wolverine and all of those characters from Universal through the Fox deal. But wait, is this the Universal? What's this about? Does Universal own Marvel characters? Yeah, so really the only two characters that are still stuck between Disney and Universal rights is the Hawk and Namor.
So they must have had to pay to use Namor and Wakanda Forever.
Or they just got a cut of the box office, which is kind of what they did with Sony, right? They split the box office.
Right.
So, but yeah, man. I mean, the only this is gonna be a shorter review because this movie sucks so bad to me. But this is honestly like the freaking one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This to me, this is probably the worst MCU film ever. And I just honestly think that the Hulk is better with other characters. And but this movie was also a lesson for Marvel because I do think that the Hulk helped Marvel figure out at least another step in their formula. You know what I mean? So the next movie we're gonna watch is Iron Man 2, which is my favorite Iron Man movie. So I am really excited for that. I love Iron Man 2.
I love Iron Man 2.
So that's gonna be a long episode. I think we should try to get the culture nerd back on for Thor. I would love for him.
That's a great idea
because he's a big Thor fan.
It's great.
And, yeah, and then I have a couple other people that I'm trying to get on for when we talk about certain movies. I know I have someone coming on for the Avengers.
Okay.
So it's so yeah, guys, we are gonna have some guests on for their favorite films. But I mean, yeah, that's all we really have for the Incredible Hulk. That is just a can of mid. I mean, there's no other way to put it.
Shit sucks.
Yeah. Facts, bro. Facts. So yeah. Let's see if there's anything else to talk about before we get out of here soon. Let me see what's on the docket for us. Okay, so if you didn't know, Comic Cuts, there was actually set photos of Captain America: New World Order that just got released today.
Oh wow!
No costume stuff, but just settings, because they're in they're actually in DC shooting stuff right now. I also think that Loki is going to be a part of the Avengers, and I don't know how I feel about that.
It would be the craziest fucking character arc.
Because Marvel just made Loki an Avenger in the comics. So I have a feeling.
Dude, they made Galactus an Avenger in the comics.
Yeah, because I mean he
This
is
Avenger. Sucks, by the way.
Bro, Loki's Avenger Prime. You know that, right?
No.
So yeah, in this new Avengers Forever run that's out right now, Loki is Avenger Prime.
That's crazy.
And that is the dumbest
Dude, this
idea ever.
This writer has royally fucked the Avengers, and this run has went on for so long. It's been terrible. I stopped reading it.
Yeah, dude, I'm not feeling it at all, honestly.
Yeah.
You need to read a children's
Crusade.
That Jones fire, bro.
I gotta check that out.
I really liked it. But and then also so here's some stuff about this Penguin show that I heard, some rumors, is that because of some rights and some things going on, we might only get Drifter Batman in this show, which is like Bruce Wayne on the bike. We might not be able to get Robert Pattinson's Batman in the Penguin show. Would you want to see Batman in full action in the Penguin show, or would you rather this be a Penguin show?
100%. More Batman, the better.
I also wonder, do you think that there's going to be a time jump too for that as well?
A time jump?
Yeah.
Oh, like
3 to 4 years.
I think they said that the Penguin is supposed to take place right after the Batman.
Yeah. So,
which makes sense because him, the Penguin taking power in the power vacuum makes for a great story.
Be interesting. I wonder how it's going to be. I wonder, man. I hope. I think it's going to be good, but these type of shows are not my cup of tea. So I hope that I can like it. It like don't you know, like yeah. There's just certain shows that like I think they're going to be good, but it's just not my cup of tea. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
What makes it not your cup of tea?
When I watch Batman characters, I just want Batman. That's just like I'm just so selfish.
Yeah.
By the way, Gotham Knights is getting slammed right now. Oh my gosh, they're getting destroyed.
For what?
So remember
probably on tonight.
Yeah, remember that scene I showed you of the Batman, of the guy laying down in the freaking Batman mask? Do you want to know the actual plot behind that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Remember when we were talking about that scene where we saw that guy with the bat face laying on the ground dead? In the trailer for Gotham Knights?
No, I don't think I even watched the trailer.
Yeah, so we talked about a part in the trailer where there was like Batman laying on the ground, and you said that it wasn't Bruce Wayne, that it was someone dressed up as Batman. But my guy, let me tell you what actually happened, because I watched the first half of the episode and I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was there was ish going on in Gotham. So Bruce Wayne opened up this mini like case in his office, and he didn't have a suit. So this dude literally pulled up a Batman party mask, bro, in a cape.
Oh my god!
I swear to God.
Oh my
god!
God!
I'll send you the clip. He literally flips it, and it's a Batman party mask. He puts it on and gets blasted.
Dude, that is not Batman. Like that, Batman would never do that. He would never be in that situation. Oh, I forgot my Batman mask.
Bro, this is actually it's actually embarrassing. Like, I'm actually embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm actually embarrassed. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it more, I think honestly, Batgirl would have done better than Shazam in Black Office, just in box office, just saying.
Batgirl would have done better than Shazam?
With Michael Keaton? Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I
would have done Batgirl, and then I would have done the end credit scene segueing right into the Flash. Would have been fire.
Yeah. Yo, I'll tell you this. I wonder how long the CW shit's gonna be going on with James Gunn. I know
he wants it done. I know he wants to chalk it. I mean, a lot of shows have. I got done with CW when they toyed with John. Yo,
John.
How He should have been Jon Stewart. I'm sorry.
100%. 100%.
He would have been
They brought him
perfect.
back. He's in Superman and Lois.
Is he Green Lantern?
No, he's like, I think he's going to be a villain.
Oh my god. I'm actually going to start catching back up because I've been seeing some fire scenes on TikTok. I saw one with him and Jordan flying in the water and then he dust him. I'm like, I might have to start catching back
I
up on the show.
promise you, dude, I like love Superman and Lois. It is some of the best superhero television out there. It is absolutely fire.
He will fit perfect in Robert Pattinson's universe too, just saying.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that, but they don't think it's going to happen. I think that
Nah,
Alfred's a good actor.
I like him. He's good.
Yeah, he's really good. And they did just recast one of his, like, he's got 2 kids in it. And
Yeah, they recasted Jonathan Kent, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it's not a big
Pointless.
deal. But, you know,
he turned down his bag. He's stupid.
it definitely, yeah, so dumb. There's definitely some like CW elements to it, but like it's entertaining. It's a good show.
Hey, just like what we said before, right? As
Right.
long as it's fire, we don't care. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah,
reality.
exactly.
I mean yeah, so, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna start checking out because they do have the whole seasons on HBO Max, so I might go
Yeah.
check it out.
Not the new season, but they have
But the old season, right?
yeah, the first 2. We're up
Yeah.
on season 3.
I watched the first season. I didn't watch I liked the first season, but there was just so much content. There was like low key, and man, I just didn't have time to catch
Yeah.
up. So now that it's a little low right now, I'm gonna go and check it out.
Fire. You know, like
Bet. But well, all right, guys, we're going to end here. So guys, just to let you guys know, we are going to do a review of John Wick on our fantasy channel because John Wick comes out this weekend. So we'll let you guys know when we're going to do that. We are both excited to see John Wick and Keanu Reeves in this film. Going to be awesome. So we're going to check that out. All right. So we hope you guys have a wonderful night. Remember, guys, please like and subscribe and ring the notification bell. And have a wonderful day. Peace out.
peace.